Hello everyone. Today I'm going to deliver the new topic, the principle by which spirit consciousness is implemented, which is about how consciousness and emotions are implemented. Let's get started. The origin of consciousness is the spirit that originates from the consciousness of the Creator. The spirit consists of three types of light of the Creator: the thought adjuster, the spirit of truth, and the spirit of holiness. Spirit consciousness is born by integrative combined actions of the thought adjuster, the spirit of truth, and the spirit of holiness. The pure, immaculate spirit consciousness that a newborn spirit implements under no influence of the karmic energy field is called the monad of the spirit consciousness of the spirit. A spirit is given its uniqueness and individuality depending on the configuration of its thought adjuster. Also, depending on the mode of combination of the spirit of truth and the spirit of holiness apart from the thought adjuster. Various spirits can be born by the Creator's action of the first creation. The spirit consciousness is expressed by a spirit that has been born by the Creator's action of the first creation. As a spirit enters a human body, born by the Creator's action of the second creation, the spirit consciousness expressed by the spirit is embodied as human consciousness. Spirit consciousness of a spirit is reborn as the consciousness of a life form after the spirit enters the body of the life form, which has been born by the Creator's action of the second creation. The spirit consciousness expressed by a spirit is reborn as human thought, consciousness, or emotions through the human body by going through the following systems sequentially: the 12 emotion codes, the 7 consciousness codes, and then the metahumanoid consciousness implementation system, MHCIS, all of which are installed in the human body. Spirit consciousness is born by the Creator's action of the first creation. The consciousness and emotion are born with the birth of life form by the Creator's action of the second creation. The origin of thought is the spirit consciousness that your spirit implements. The origin of your consciousness is the spirit consciousness expressed by your spirit. Your emotions also originate from the spirit consciousness that your spirit embodies. The spirit consciousness is embodied as human emotions consciousness through the metahumanoid consciousness implementation system, which is connected to the intangible system that implements consciousness and the intangible system implementing emotions installed in the human body. The principle by which spirit consciousness is implemented are as follows. The implementation of spirit consciousness is initiated from the thought adjuster of a spirit given by the Creator. The energy expressed by the thought adjuster is the energy and also the consciousness of the highest vibrational frequency, but it has no specificity or logical property. The consciousness manifested by the thought adjuster of a spirit is called base consciousness or archetype consciousness of the spirit. Archetype consciousness corresponds to a pure mass of energy or information that's not processed or modified. Archetype consciousness, manifested by the thought adjuster of a spirit, is the light that contains information with the highest vibrational frequency. Archetype consciousness expressed by the thought adjuster of a spirit is given a logical system when it passes through the spirit of truth. The spirit of truth has 5 to 9 vertical energy layers, whose number varies for each spirit. The spirit of truth can be compared to programs, each of which is located in each layer to interpret the information contained in archetype consciousness with a high vibrational frequency. The high vibrational archetype consciousness expressed by the thought adjuster gets equipped with a logical system. As its vibration frequency decreases each time it passes through each layer of the spirit of truth. Finally, when the archetype consciousness of the thought adjuster passes through all layers of the spirit of truth, a concrete in logical consciousness is formed. The spirit of truth has a function to interpret the high vibrational information that the archetype consciousness has. Meanwhile, the spirit of the holiness can be compared to software that can expand interpreted information and apply this information to diverse aspects. It is structured horizontally. The role of the spirit of holiness is likened to the function of the atmosphere of Earth, through which sunlight is converted to terrestrial heat. The light consciousness that has passed through the spirit of truth can be expressed as spirit consciousness only after passing through a filter program called the spirit of holiness. The spirit of holiness is an area where there's a flow of energy, like the wind blowing in the atmosphere of Earth. The spirit of holiness is a region where different types of energy of different densities are rotating and circulating, like clouds in the atmosphere of Earth. When the light that has passed through the spirit of truth passes through the intangible devices of the spirit of holiness, like the Earth's atmosphere, spirit consciousness that has a specific pattern is born depending on the mode in which the light of consciousness is scattered, and this consciousness is called the monad of spirit consciousness of a spirit. Various types of spirit consciousness are born as archetype consciousness expressed by the thought adjuster, passes through the spirit of truth and the spirit of holiness. The monad of spirit consciousness of a spirit is the consciousness unique to the spirit, and it refers to the spirit consciousness born when the spirit is created by the creator's action of the first creation. Spirit consciousness is the origin of consciousness that is born at the same time when a life form is born by the creator's action of the second creation. Spirit consciousness is transformed into the forms of thought, consciousness, and emotions through the meta-humanoid consciousness implementation system at the time of the birth of the human body. To clarify and uncover the principle of the invisible world by which spirit consciousness is converted into human emotions and consciousness, I, Captain Udeka, leave this message as a record. December 18th, 2019, Udeka wrote, translated by Big Bad. This concludes today's story. Thank you for watching Light Tree TV. See you next time. Bye.